Well, it's that time of year again, the holiday season, certainly one of my favorite times of year. But sometimes the hardest people to buy for are photographers, especially wildlife photographers. We spend our days chasing light, waiting for hours, and getting muddy, cold, and bitten by mosquitoes. So yeah, oftentimes a pair of socks probably isn't going to cut it. But don't worry, because today I've got you covered. Whether you're shopping for a wildlife photographer, or maybe you are a wildlife photographer, and maybe you are just trying to drop a few hints. Here are 10 gifts that any wildlife photographer would actually love.
Trapped inside the mind of a dreamer, losing sight of all the visions in my head.
Let's kick it off with number one. This is an easy one, but also an inexpensive one: hand warmers. These are essential for wildlife photographers, especially on those really cold days when you're just sitting outside patiently waiting for wildlife to happen. Nothing is more uncomfortable than when your hands are freezing and they become so cold that they are barely working. As a photographer, it's imperative to keep those hands warm, and hand warmers do such a great job. You can buy these in different quantities, but you can usually get a pretty big box of these right off of Amazon for about $40. Number two, lens cloths. Camera lenses and camera screens are sensitive pieces of equipment, and having a bunch of high quality lens cloths isn't going to break the bank, but they are always great to have in the camera bag for photographers. They help to remove those super annoying fingerprints, dust, water droplets, and anything else that might find its way onto the glass of a lens or a camera body. These cloths will allow you to clean the glass of your lens or camera safely without causing scratches. A good set of lens cloths is generally going to cost you around $20 to $30. Number three, a camo blanket. This is one of my favorite wildlife accessories, and you can pick these up on Amazon as well for usually less than $20. Now, I recommend going with a 6x9 size or maybe something a little bit larger, but these are super useful when you're out in the field because they are so versatile. They are perfect for hiding the human form, helping you to disguise yourself from wildlife, which often allows us to get a little closer to the action. Number four is a camo stool, another one of my favorite wildlife accessories. Wildlife photographers are usually out in the field for many hours, and much of that time is spent patiently waiting for the wildlife to come into the area or do something interesting. Having a stool to sit quietly and patiently just makes the whole experience of photographing wildlife much more comfortable. Again, this is another inexpensive gift that can be picked up on Amazon, usually for about $30 to $35. Number five, a good rain cover. Now, a rain cover is another very useful piece of wildlife equipment because we are often out photographing wildlife in the elements. Sometimes the best time to photograph wildlife is in a light rain or maybe even some snow. But protecting your equipment with a good rain cover is essential. Now, there are a few cautions that I offer with this gift. Buying a rain cover can be a bit of a personal choice, and you have to buy a rain cover in a size that fits the camera and lens combination the photographer is using. Now, I'm a huge fan of the camo rain covers by Lenscoat and Roland Pro, and they generally cost between $60 to $80. Now, it might be best to give the photographer in your life a gift card to maybe like B&H Photo or Adorama or even Amazon with a picture of the rain cover you have in mind so they can go and pick the specific model that works with their equipment. Number six, rain gear. While a rain cover is great for the camera itself, it's also great for the photographer. Good quality rain jackets, pants, and boots are another great gift for photographing wildlife on those really bad weather days. Being out in the rain always makes the process of photographing wildlife a little bit more cumbersome, but it's worse if your clothing really isn't protecting you from the elements. The last thing you want to do is be out photographing wildlife and getting wet. If you can keep yourself dry, it makes the whole experience just a little bit more enjoyable. Quality rain gear can generally be found at outdoor sporting stores, and high quality rain gear, you're likely looking at about $100 to $150 for this purchase. Number 7, camera batteries. As wildlife photographers, when we are out in the field photographing wildlife, we generally have to have our cameras on at all times, so we are ready to photograph the action when it actually unfolds. But always having your camera on tends to drain our batteries faster than normal. If the photographer in your life doesn't have a lot of extra camera batteries, picking them up 1 or 2 extra batteries can be really, really helpful. Now, the cost of these batteries can vary greatly because it depends on the specific make and model of the camera they are using, but batteries for most current camera models fall somewhere around $60 to $80. Number 8, memory cards. Another great gift for wildlife photographers is memory cards. Wildlife photography requires us to shoot in what is referred to as a burst mode. And what this ultimately means is that we take a lot of pictures when we are out in the field. Memory cards, specifically fast memory cards with a lot of storage, make a great gift. I will caution you though, these can get very expensive. My recommendation would be to first determine the make and model of the camera the photographer in your life is using, because this will tell you what type and how many memory cards you will need to buy. Some cameras only have 1 memory card slot, while many others have 2. I would then call B&H Photo or Adorama. Both are huge online camera retailers, and they will provide plenty of assistance for helping you pick out the correct memory card. Generally, with most modern cameras, you will want memory cards that are at least UHS 2 rated and have a write speed of at least 300 megabytes per second. But many cameras perform best using CF Express cards. If the camera takes CF Express Type A cards, be prepared for a very high cost. It's not uncommon for these cards to cost $300 to $400 per card. If the camera accepts CF Express Type B, they will still be expensive, but they will be a little cheaper than the Type A cards. Whatever card or cards you buy, it's probably best to expect a minimum cost of $150. Number 9, cotton carrier. Wildlife lenses tend to be large and quite heavy, and it's always great to have a convenient way of carrying them. One of my favorite accessories that I started using this past year is a cotton carrier. It looks like a vest that simply fits over your head, and then there's an attachment that goes onto your lens, and that slides into a little holster that's on your chest. It makes carrying those heavy lenses much easier. Now, I will say this, photographers tend to have mixed feelings when it comes to using these types of devices. Some love them and some hate them. So you might want to try to feel out the photographer in your life to see if this would be something they would be interested in using when it comes to their wildlife photography. There are many different versions of these devices out there for much cheaper, but generally speaking, you don't want to go with these cheaper options because they aren't as comfortable or as reliable. And the last thing that you want to do is have one of these devices break and damage your camera equipment. The cotton carrier system is around $130. It's very reputable and it's made of very high quality. Number 10, binoculars. A great piece of equipment for a wildlife photographer is a nice pair of binoculars. This past year, I purchased the Vortex Triumph binoculars for just $100. And they are an excellent pair of binoculars for a very affordable price. Binoculars can get super expensive. We are talking $3,000 plus. The pair I purchased is affordable and the optics are super clear and they are built solidly. Vortex is also a very well respected name in the world of binoculars. I purchased the 10x42 binoculars, which is really good for wildlife. Binoculars are useful out in the field because it really helps to scout out areas and animals that are further away, and it's a great way to quickly and easily monitor what's happening around you. So whether it's something simple like a lens cloth or something more special like those very small but expensive memory cards, any of these will make a great gift for the wildlife photographer in your life, sure to make their holiday just a little brighter. At the end of the day, though, it's not about the price tag. It's about giving something that inspires more time out in nature, more patience, and more beautiful moments behind the lens. Thanks for watching and happy holidays to you and your family. If you found this helpful, please be sure to like it and don't forget to also share it with someone else who might be shopping for the photographer in their life this season. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching this video. I truly appreciate it. And if by chance the wildlife photographer in your life is maybe in search of some new editing software for their wildlife photography, you might want to check out a product called DxO Photolab 9. I actually have a link in the show notes. It'll take you right over to DxO where you can check out Photolab 9 for yourself. If you decide you want to purchase it, just be sure to use my special discount code at the time of checkout. That code is Magnolia, and it will save you 15% off of your purchase. If you don't want to purchase it at this moment, be sure to download a 30-day free trial so you can use the program in its entirety with absolutely no restrictions. If you're not sure how to use the program, if you're worried about how to learn it, don't worry. I have you covered there with my DxO Photolab 9 Masterclass. I'll teach you everything you need to know from beginning to end, and I'll even show you my exact workflow, taking you all the way through, showing you a very consistent process and how you can get those professional looking images. The whole class includes nearly 7 hours of instruction, comes with PDF guides to show you how to customize your workspace, 15 practice raw photos, and I give you my full DxO preset collection. So there's tons of great stuff included in this class. Head over to my store to check this all out at magnoliaphotographysc.com/store. I also have a bunch of free guides over there you can check out while you're over there. Thank you so much for stopping by and visiting me today. But before you go, you might want to think about checking out this next video right here.